Welcome to the next episode of the GSD Golf Podcast. I'm your host, E10. And as always, we're very excited to talk the game of golf. And we got a very special guest. We're going to get him on the stage really quickly and talk about the connected golfer. But before we get into this episode of the GSD Golf Podcast, I gotta make some announcements. We have some big breaking news. We are excited to formally announce that we have the GSD Golf Podcast is now brought to you in part by the Hurricane Junior Golf Tour. Big news. We're going to be partnering with the Hurricane Junior Golf Tour. We're going to make sure that we're bringing you all the insights, the tournament updates, but more importantly, the behind the scenes, the stories from the junior golfers themselves and the parents, because that's who we focus on. We focus on the parents. We focus on the junior golfers. We want to educate them about the game of golf, help their junior golfers get a little bit better at the game of golf. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. And the Hurricane Junior Golf Tour is the number one junior golf experience, rated the number one junior golf experience since 2007. But we're also excited about our partners at Where's Woody. Our threads, we got our new threads, our new hats. Where's Woody? Where's Woody has it was founded in Cape Cod, but it's got a California vibe. They definitely bring a new look and feel to the GSD Golf Podcast. We're super excited about our partners. With that being said, let's get this show on the road, my friends. Please welcome to the stage the connected golfer, Leo Herrera. My man's been playing golf since the age of 3. Leo, welcome to the show.
Hey, T, what a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I saw you off stage bobbing your head to the intro music. Nobody has come on the show yet that hasn't bobbed their head. They know this. They know the music instantly. Love it. Welcome to the show, man. And like I said, you and I, your story, you starting at the age of 3. How'd you get into the game of golf at the age of 3?
Man, the game found me. I was born right in front of a house, right in front of a golf course in a house that basically overlooked the course. And my dad got me into it. Just, hey, come out here and hit some shots. And man, I got hooked since day one. I don't remember not playing golf. So
it's crazy. That's so crazy. It's interesting you say that because the game chose you is something I really believe when it comes to the game of golf, because not everybody has the opportunity to play the game of golf, but when it finds you, it's like there's this feeling of like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. There's a ton of other sports people can play and you can muscle your way through them. But when you have that feeling with the club on the course, the peace that comes with it, to your point, I think it finds you.
Totally, man. It was a connection since day one. And
look at you bridging the gap. The connected golfer. What do you got going on with the connected golfer?
Man, the connected golfer was another one that kind of just came to me. I was in a dorm by myself in college, and I remember just reflecting a lot. Couldn't really go out, couldn't really do much, and I went through a phase in my life where I developed a lot personally, and I wanted to share something greater to the world through the game of golf. I realized how much it's given me, and I wanted to give back. And really the one thing I stumbled upon that was good for me that I really wanted to share was shifting your identity. And I wanted to become the connected golfer so others can be inspired to do the same and shift their identity to be the best version of themselves on and off the course.
Let's talk about that, because on your website, you talk about taking your life to the next level. And that's a little bit of what you're saying here. How did the game of golf help that transition?
Yeah, I mean, the level of discipline that you got to have to play golf. I mean, I've played golf competitively since I was 7. You got to have a lot of patience, commitment, and humility, to play golf. Those are my 3 top of the list things. And those are things that translate to life. Instantaneously.
And it's interesting when we talk about our junior golfers. I think a lot of our junior, first of all, we talked on our last episode, parents, when at the age of 3, mine was 3 years old. And the same thing. It's like when we see our junior golfers hit that golf shot, the first time they flush a shot, we're all like, oh, we got the next Tiger Woods. We got the next, you name it. But the reality is that this journey in the game of golf is really hard. And, you make a really good point there. Can you talk to us a little bit about, when was it that you started to realize, okay, it's not just a hobby for me. I'm actually really into this.
Man, it was never a hobby.
A hobby. I like it.
With golf, since day one, it's always been something that I've loved. I've never seen it as work. But for me, I guess you're talking more about being the connected golfer.
Yeah.
I realized I had something bigger to share with the world, and created the Connected Golfer for that reason. But I didn't know what direction I really wanted to take it. I just started creating, and I started creating content, and I started creating like informational like courses and stuff, and
Yeah.
coaching other people in the game and in their mindset. And that's when I realized, man, like I never thought I'd get into this, but this is exactly
Here you are. Talk to us about, so you grew up at an early age playing the game. You moved into middle school, high school comes along. You went through the recruiting process a little bit. Talk to us about what that process was like for you as you come through the age of the high school age, transitioning to college, playing the game of golf. How did that impact your transition to the college level?
Yeah, so I committed to University of Central Florida on a full ride when I was a junior in high school, and it was tough, man. I didn't really get many offers, and I felt like I was playing well, but not like well enough to get to the top, like the D1 schools. But UCF is a D1 school.
I was
Like
going to say, it's not like you went small potatoes there. UCF is a big time school.
No, it was great. The coach was good enough to see me play. He's seen me a lot, but funny enough, like I committed to a college and set me free. Like I won a couple AJGAs after that, and I started playing all the invitationals, and I was like, I felt like, oh, I did it. Like I'm good now, and it was a good and a bad in a way, because you kind of get that feeling of accomplishment, and you kind of let go of the gas, and you're like, okay, I'm good in college. Like this next couple of years, I'm just chilling. But all the work that it took to get to that point, definitely worked hard on my game. Just, got to be consistent going to tournaments. That's the biggest thing that I would say.
We want to talk a little bit about once you got to college, what that was like. We had some guys on from the host of the D3 Golf Guys on a couple episodes ago, and we talked about the differences between playing at the Division I level, playing at the Division III level, but at all of the levels, there's a level of commitment you have to honing your skill, not only in the classroom, but also on the course. I want to get into that a little bit more, but when we talk about the Connected Golfer, that's you, that's what you got going on. The connectedgolfer.com is where people can go. Talk to us about what they can find on your website and what offerings you have for our viewers.
Yeah, definitely. So I have a free ebook that I give away to everyone, just as a value add. I mean, that one, it took me a little bit to put it together, and it's basically, I call it my war manual. So if I were to go, restart this whole thing over again, this is exactly what I would do and how I would shift my perspective to, be the best version of myself on the course. And there's a lot of good strategies in there. It's only 50 pages.
And it's free. GSD Golf. It's free. He just said he gives away a free book. Check it out.
Check it out. Yes, sir. I also have an online course called the Connection Formula. So that course took me about 8 months to put together, and it's 30 lessons long, 6 modules where I don't talk about golf. I talk about, between the ears, what happened when I woke up and realized my potential. So the basis of the course is realize your potential, realize your potential, optimize your realize your value, optimize your potential, maximize your impact. Those are the 3 pillars within the course that I put together just to really help people shift their perspective and understand that we are all connected to something greater than we can even imagine. And if we harness that connection, we can create something very powerful in this world. And we'll at the end of the course, you'll leave with what your purpose is, your passions, your visions, your values, what habits you're going to start implementing for your health, career, relationships. And it was a really good roadmap for me personally to understand myself and to just have another kind of like, manual that can help me stay connected.
So let's talk about, you made an interesting statement there. And I love everything that you're saying. I want to come back to the very beginning, because you said once between the ears clicked and connected, you started playing freer, you started playing a little bit better, and you were already playing really good golf because you went big time D1. when it clicked, when everything between the ears clicked, was that a moment, like, can you look back and say, oh my God, oh my gosh, it was right there. Like, I know when that happened. Like, can you feel it and look back at it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I had one of the best moments of my life. I won the USGA 4-ball, and this was the moment. So like 2 weeks prior to this, I dropped out of college after my first year. And I just told you guys, my dream was to play college golf, pro, all this stuff. I go to college for a year, I had the experience I had, and then I decided, I'm like, this is not for me. I want to go for something bigger. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. And I left college, crazy decision. Everything was crazy. And then 2 weeks later, I had already qualified for the first ever USGA event I've ever played in at Chambers Bay. And I made a 20-footer on the last hole of the final match to extend the match. And then we won on the last hole. And, just that moment right there was like that sign from the universe that I was like, man, like, just
for you, it was the right moment.
Yeah, for me. And, that's what initiated the whole journey. I started making content and all that. But the biggest thing for me was I stumbled upon this phrase and this saying, and I guess it's an affirmation that I repeat to myself a lot, that made me play a bigger game. And this is when I actually got really, really good at golf. Like, I would say better than I was before and more effortless. Like, I started saying I'm the best golfer in the universe. And
if you believe it, you can achieve it, right?
Yeah. But it's like, what does that even mean? Like, why can't I just say best golfer in the world?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what does it mean to shift that? And started to feel it in me. And I realized that I am playing a bigger game. And I embrace the fact that I am playing golf, coaching golf, creating content in golf, creating golf experiences, and ultimately, like, wanting to leave a legacy in golf was really the one thing I came back to when I asked myself, like, what do I really want to do? And like, why do I want to do it? It's like, I want to leave a legacy in the game, and being on the PGA Tour was not the only option for that for me. And I've realized other avenues.
Great. It's a great point. I think there's a lot of different paths for different players. And I think, Leo's path to the connected golfer and all the things that you've accomplished now is your unique path, right? And I think that's really important. Talk to us a little bit about, when we think about the connected golfer, you talked about that mindset that you're the best golfer in the world, that winning mindset. Talk to us about how junior golfers can leverage that.
Yeah. Well, it's best golfer in the universe. And
there you go. Best golfer in the universe. My mistake.
The thing, it's not to be cocky or arrogant or, not humble. Like, it's not even about that. It's to realize that when you believe something, only you can take that away. And, if you truly do believe it within yourself, you can achieve it. You can live it. And to me, it actually put me in a world of no competition. Like, I don't see any competition anymore. Even though I play tournaments and I do all this stuff, and there are quote unquote competitors, like, there's no competition when you're connected to the source of all life, because, everyone's connected. We're all come from the same thing. And, when you tap into that feeling of love and compassion for everything that you have around you, there's no competition. So everybody is the best golfer in the universe. They just got to choose to believe it. And, that's what I hope to inspire in others, hopefully listening to this podcast and following my journey.
Did we see some content from you? You were on the course with John Daly. How was that?
Oh, it was great, man. He's a character. Talk about a guy that doesn't really care. I mean, this is and it goes back to some of the principles that makes, and this could help a lot of junior golfers. Like, it's balancing like the I don't care attitude with I still want to accomplish it, and he was perfect at that. Like, he's intentional. He knows what he wants, but he doesn't care if he doesn't get it. Like, he's just like, I'm here. Like, you can feel my presence, and it's not going away.
I can imagine. He is a presence, and I think that's a great way of saying it. And not shying away from who you are and who or what your golf game is, because everybody's golf game is different. I think, when I think about our junior golfers and I think about our parents, I think parents of junior golfers, I think golf is a game that is still wildly misunderstood. It is a game for everyone. I think it's just a matter of, to your point earlier, how do we get junior golfers, to your point, you got in at a really young age, but get kids in at a young age to learn this game, not be like me that was 37 before you picked up your first club. And now I'm trying to figure out how to keep the ball in play and not lose balls in the water. That's why we play different kind of balls. But my kid, we want to make sure they're having that experience. How does your platform, how does your the Connected Golfer support young golfers, junior golfers in that journey?
Well, the first thing's on the mental side. Like I hope to inspire them to think more clearly and to, become champions from within. But the other thing is like I hope to inspire them to start making content, because a lot of these kids like nowadays they're always on the phone, and parents are like, oh, let's take the phone away from them, and
always on the devices.
If they used it to their advantage and they were like, hey, mom, like I'm going to go to the course and practice and play, and I'm going to film some videos and I'm going to post it. Like I'm going to share my, like the new generation is way more equipped than, I would say you were back in the day, because there was
phones. Are you trying to say I'm old? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm old? No, I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
Just giving the audience some context. But yeah, I would totally say like now is such a cool time to be part of golf, especially as a junior golfer. Like pick up the phone and just film yourself playing. And like you're already on the phone a lot. So like, might as well use it
to your advantage, right?
But also when you use it to your advantage, like you empower yourself to be more clear and intentional with what you're doing.
And you mentioned that using the technology, there's a lot of and you're a creator, a content creator, you do a lot of on-course work and phenomenal stuff and shots, and you show people how to hit different shots. And I think that's really cool. There's a lot of different versions of the creator world or influencer world in the game of golf. Some are showing you trick shots and they're doing things like a good, they're out there competing in certain things. Yours, I think, is really interesting because it's helping people get a little bit better at the game of golf. And, we're trying to dial in on that. What are some key traits that junior golfers should have when it comes to being on the course?
Yeah, they got to be present, man. I mean, a lot of them are not. And this is the reality of just being a junior or a young kid in today's day and age. I tell the junior golfers I work with, like, I'm just keeping you accountable to be here. Like, that's all. Like, as long as you're here right now, obviously there's different strategies like practicing with intention and doing the right things and drills and all of that. But when it, push comes to shove, at the end of the day, if they're present, they will be inspired within themselves to take the right action. The problem is most of them are not present because they're, either distracted or, they care about what other people think about them, or they're just, nervous. So a lot of it just has to do with being present, because that being present will, emanate that presence that intimidates your.
When we get into the conversation around, so we're on with Leo Herrera from the Connected Golfer. You can find his website is theconnectedgolfer.com. A ton of free information, a ton of resources and courses to help you learn and get a little bit better. Leo, talk to us about the mental mindset, calming the nerves while you're on the course. Because I think, to your point of sometimes they're not present when they're on the course, and coming from outside distractions. If you get to the course and you're a junior golfer and your mind is racing, there's other things going on. You had a tough conversation with your friend, something on Snapchat didn't go well with your friend or whatever. How do they, what's some keys for those players to maybe get refocused?
I mean, the reality is they got to do that work outside the course. And that's what I talk to them a lot about. Like, they got to be developing a morning routine, because that's going to translate to your pre-shot routine.
Yep.
And, I tell them, hey, like, start meditating, whether it's 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, do some breath work. Like, be aware of your breath on your everyday life. And you'll be surprised that when you actually feel nervous and you need to breathe, it's normal. And like, you feel your body, you're in tune with what's going on in your system. The majority of it's done off the golf course, to be honest. It's simple practices that I've implemented, since I went to college. I didn't do this as a junior golfer. My mom was like, hey, here's a meditation you should do before your round. I'm like, no, get that away from me. Like, I'm not doing that. Man, I wish I would have, because I would have, saved myself some time. And that's what I kind of translate over to the juniors I work with now. It's just like, be present by establishing positive habits, like a simple meditation practice, gratitude practice, because those things will translate over the course. Because once it becomes a part of who you already are, it's not like, oh, I have to do this thing. It's like,
Yeah.
no, this is who I am. I'm a present, grateful golfer, you know?
Yeah, that's so awesome. Talk to us about, so you've obviously coached up some junior golfers. You've probably engaged with the parents of the junior golfers along the way. Anything that stands out to you experience wise, where you saw a junior that maybe came to you and didn't take the mental side of it seriously, or wasn't as engaged mentally before they came to see you, and then they put your teachings, your practices into play, and now they're calling you and they're like, hey, I just had my record low score, or anything like that. Anything, stories you can share in that aspect of things?
Yeah. So I had one guy, I mean, he was very like shy and, wouldn't like, we would have our calls and, he would not really like talk a lot. I would be
Yeah.
the one talking and trying to share with him and trying to get it out of him and all that. And then like, I was telling him, I was guiding him through a visualization practice of, him being the most confident version of himself. And he told me like, oh my God, like this hit, like I get it now. Like, you just got to use your mind to like basically trick yourself, to think confident. I'm like, in a way, if that clicked for you, it clicked for you. And I remember like, he started implementing it. And, I just got a text actually just a couple of weeks ago from his father. And he was like, I've never seen you perform the way you have. And, the way you compose yourself on the course was very effective. Like he put me and him and his mom in a group chat and sent that message. He could have just sent it to him, but, he wanted to make sure that I got it too, because, it seemed like the connection was rubbing off. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so happy.
so awesome.
Fulfilling.
And I think that's really important though. I think, for what we have noticed is that for the junior golfer, I think the junior golfer and the parents of the junior golfer have to, it's a family affair, right? Especially the mental side of things, right? I learned at an early stage in our juniors career that I'm not the guy that's going to help him with his swing, because I'm not a PGA swing coach. I'm a weekend golfer, and try to not lose balls. And then on the flip side, when we commit to the mental side, I think the junior golfer needs to see the parents are in this as well. And that's a great example of, showing the junior that we're all in this together, coach, parents, player, all together.
Couldn't agree more. It's really a team aspect there. Like it's not just like a regular client. Like it's, you got to bring in the parents and everybody's got to be on the same page, because it's a team at the end of the day.
Yeah. Leo Herrera, the Connected Golfer. What do you got going on? What's coming up here in the summer of 2025?
Yeah. So right now, honestly, just focusing on starting up my business. I have my own podcast where I interview other golf pros and experts, and I've built a company where we do different corporate golf experiences, and we've partnered with a couple of resorts, and this is something that is a really big passion of mine, because I believe the system of professional golf is a little bit, not as the way I would have really liked it to be. I want to create this as an opportunity to showcase golfers. So, I figured I'd connect golfers together, and I I basically found a market of I would say older demographic of people, higher end corporate, people that.
You're saying old guys again. I love it, Leo. I love it.
Basically the corporate guys that have money and want to have good golf experiences, basically merging them with good talent. So
that's awesome.
Talent that I was already out there and, maybe, underlooked or under appreciated. I definitely feel like there's a lot of people out there that are like that. And I just want to connect the dots and be able to showcase that talent, get them paid to go to an experience like this and be able to meet people and show their skills and meet other cool golfers. And, we're slowly but surely picking up, and, I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes over the next few months and seeing what happens. And, I love coaching. I've kind of transitioned a lot of my business online now as just a mental performance coach. I do in-person experiences as well, but just like 1 day or 3 day experiences, depending on what the individual is willing to invest in and willing to do for themselves. But like I love really helping people, and I love creating something new for the world of golf. I think there's a lot of opportunity in the space, and it's never a better time to be involved in the game. So I'm excited.
Totally agree. And Leo Herrera, the Connected Golfer, as you just heard him say, a lot of his trainings, especially for juniors, is virtual. So check out the connectedgolfer.com, check out the courses, sign up, get yourself some mental coaching, help your golf game get a little bit better. Leo, before we let you go, we started this new segment. I'm going to rapid fire you here at the end here. We're going to rapid fire some questions. We're going to have a little fun. We got about 5 questions for you. So you ready? You buckled in and ready to go?
Ready than ever.
My man. What's your favorite go-to swing or go-to thought under pressure?
Take a picture of the hole.
Ooh, like mental picture?
Yeah. So I always make sure if I'm under pressure, just focus on the target. Like in my mind, I'm not thinking of the swing. I'm just thinking of the target.
Love it. Love it. Favorite golf course you've ever played?
Chambers Bay.
Ooh,
I won the tournament there.
Really cool. One training aid that you swear by, you have to have.
I think the power shift board is pretty solid. I mean, it helps a lot of, especially like beginner, intermediate golfers. But learning how to shift your weight is so crucial in golf.
Dream foursome. Who's joining you?
Man, I would say Tiger Woods, Tom Brady.
Ooh, okay.
Are
you a Pats fan or a Bucks fan or why Tom Brady? Just because it's Tom Brady?
I've always been a Brady fan.
Okay.
Just like since my buddy grew up in Connecticut and we watched football growing up a lot, and we would always watch Brady, and he was
fair enough. You got one more.
And I would say Lee Trevino.
Ooh, okay.
Like Lee.
Okay. I figured you were going with, MJ Jordan, since you had the GOATs and lined up all in a row there. So, you never knew where you were going.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd enjoy playing MJ. He's a little too fast. Like he's just like goes on.
All right, last one before we let you go. Putt to win the Masters or drive the green at the old course? What's your pick?
Putt to win the Masters, man.
Putt to win the Masters. There's got to be no other feeling like it, right?
Oh yeah, man. There's no other feeling than having a putt to win a tournament on the last hole. So we kind of experienced that at that tournament and the USGA event. And yeah, I visualize that every day to hope, to make a putt at Augusta National. I actually went to the Masters this year for the first time ever. And it was such
unreal, right? I went to a practice round a couple years ago, and I remember we were walking. So two things I'll forever remember from that. It was practice round. We were walking, and dang it, now I can't forget his name. Tom Kim was walking with his caddy, and Tom hit this blast from the middle of the fairway to a green. And I looked across the fairway, and I'm like, was that a pitching wedge? And he's like, he actually answered. He's like, no, it was a sand wedge. And it was clearly it wasn't, but it was awesome just to see him engaging like that. And then I remember reaching down and just having to touch the grass because I was like, is this real? It was so perfectly manicured. It's crazy.
It's surreal. And honestly, it shows like what can actually happen in this world when people put their phones away and just connect to golf and the environment.
So cool, right? So cool. Leo Herrera, the Connected Golfer, thank you for joining the GSD Golf Podcast, man. This has been a great conversation. Open invitation. If you got stuff going on, you want to highlight stuff, reach out, let me know. We'd love to have you back on talking more golf, talking about ways that we can help the junior golfers get a little bit better. Leo, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks, AT. Really appreciate it. Anytime I can help, it's my pleasure.
GSD Golf Podcast. Please give a big shout out to Leo Herrera, the Connected Golfer, for joining the GSD Golf Podcast. We're so happy that he was on the show. Great conversation, a lot of learnings for our junior golfers, for our parents of junior golfers. Before we let you go on this episode, I just have to give a quick shout out to our partners at the Hurricane Junior Golf Tour. We're proud. Once again, we're super proud to be partnering with them to spotlight the next generation of our junior golfers, share their stories, and bring you inside access to the world of junior golf. We're going to get you some great content. It's a great partnership. This is a tremendous opportunity for us to raise visibility around the game for junior golfers, and parents of junior golfers can get those insights. You can check them out at the Hurricane Junior Golf Tour. And again, we're outfitted by our proud partners at Where's Woody. Where's Woody is a tremendous partner of the GSD Golf platform. These are custom made zip ups. You can get anything you want from the Where's Woody. Visit where'swoody.com and get your golf apparel today. GSD Golf Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. As always, let's make 2025 the best season yet. Let's get a little bit better at the game of golf, and let's go.